So are you still looking to run Windows 7 even once the support runs out? Well, there's some things that you certainly need to know, and Ed Bott is here with us to talk about it. We've been talking about this a good bit now, Ed. So when support ends, what do people need to do?
Well, most people should upgrade to Windows 10 or find another supported way to take care of the needs of the PCs in their organization. But there are some situations where you just can't avoid using Windows 7. I've talked to a couple people this week who are in those situations. One person is running a particular piece of manufacturing machinery that requires control software that only runs on Windows 7. It won't run on Windows 10. And that machine, if you unplug that machine and you basically unplug that company's business. There's another company that has a big piece of software that runs their entire office. And there's going to be an upgrade available for it at the end of next year that is Windows 10 compatible, but they've got to get from here to there. So for people like them, they've got to find a way through. Now, the good news is that Microsoft has made it so that they will be delivering extended security updates to paying customers starting on January 25th, 2020, the day after support runs out. You can do it for up to 3 years by paying a fee for each succeeding year per device.
So Ed, this sounds a little bit elementary, but really break this down for us. So if people want to take this route, where do they start? Where do they go? Who do they call?
Well, it basically depends on how big your business is. If you have a fairly large business, especially if you have an enterprise agreement, volume license contract with Microsoft, then you pick up the phone and you call your account representative, or you go to the volume licensing service center, and there you can just request the keys. It's what's called a multiple activation key. And then you've got to send one of your IT pros around to each machine, and you have to apply that key. And once you've done that, it's those Windows 7 PCs will be unlocked for the security updates that will be available beginning at the end of January 2020. For small businesses, the procedure is a little more complicated. They have to find something called a cloud solution provider, and they've got to make that purchase. And then they either have to make the configuration changes to those Windows 7 PCs, or hire someone to do those configuration changes themselves. And it's all done through the same portal through which you manage Office 365. But the catch there is that a lot of businesses that are still running Windows 7 aren't necessarily running Office 365.
Well, and so Ed, when you talk about trying to find that person that can help you walk through this easily, that's actually not so easy to do.
No, it really isn't. And I did some, Microsoft made these updates available for smaller businesses, people who don't have volume license contracts, effective, I think it was December 2nd, 2019. So that was when you could officially go to one of your cloud solution providers. And so I waited a couple weeks, and then I said that I would do a little experiment, and I would follow the Microsoft documentation and click the links and type in the information and see if I could buy my own multiple activation key to unlock these extended security updates for Windows 7. What I discovered is it's really hard to find someone, especially if you're a very small business. So what I did was I went to the Microsoft FAQ page for the Windows 7 ESUs, they're called Extended Security Updates. I clicked the link, and that took me to a page where you search for solution providers, Microsoft partners. And so I did I put in my location. I chose from the box that said I have 1 to 9 employees in my business, and I said I'm looking for a cloud solution provider. And I got back 3 recommendations from Microsoft. And they said, congratulations, we found perfect matches for you. We're going to send your contact information to these partners and they'll be in touch with you. Well, about 15 minutes later, I got an email back that said that my #1 match, the one that Microsoft thought was absolutely my best match, had turned it down. About 12 hours later, I got a second email that my second match had also turned down my business. And then finally, about 24 hours later, I heard back from the third provider with an automated thing that's from Microsoft that said, congratulations, this partner has agreed to take your request and you'll be hearing from them shortly. Well, that was 2 days ago and I still haven't heard anything from them. I asked around and talked to people in small businesses and also some of these cloud solution providers. And they said, you know, unfortunately, this isn't an uncommon problem. It's really difficult to go into this directory and find a partner who's willing to work with small businesses. So, you know, what I found is, first of all, you have to be persistent. Secondly, you have to look sort of outside the box, not just in the official solution providers database, but in your network of contacts, maybe even on things like LinkedIn. You should be asking people if they have a recommendation for somebody who's a Microsoft partner who can help out your business. Because when you finally find one of those businesses, it's actually a pretty straightforward process. Now, the good news is that this shouldn't be just a one-time purchase. This shouldn't be something where you buy this and then you unlock this thing and then you can not think about it for another year. Hopefully, when you find a solution provider who's willing to work with a business like yours, the size of yours, that's the beginning of a long-term relationship where they can help you migrate those PCs away from Windows 7 to a solution that is going to be sustainable in the long run. And they can probably offer other services to your business, things like moving workloads to the cloud, things like getting your employees on the latest version of Office 365. So it can be a pretty good thing, but it can be a bit of a tricky process to get started.
Yeah, most definitely, and certainly speaks, Ed, to why, as you've been saying, this isn't something that you can continue to put off. The time now, it's right now to take care of all of this.
Absolutely, this is the time. Yeah, you want to be thinking about this now. You want to be acting on it now, and really, it's the first step in a process that should have a definite endpoint, and that endpoint should be less than a year away.
Yep, got to get on it. All right, Ed. Well, as always, we appreciate your insight on this. And for much more, make sure you check out ZDNet. Thanks for watching.